as we continue our series of messages concerning servant ministry. And this week talking about God's great gift of love. And I brought to you yesterday on the broadcast a premise that I read about in the book that I wrote, Dreams and Visions and Stories of Faith. When I asked a question, I said, what is love? And my answer is simply this. I said, I believe that love is choice. We can choose whether or not we want to love, or we can choose whether or not we want to hate. It is an emotion, and we can deal with our emotions. So it brings us back to the question is, what is love? And I said, simply put, it is choice. And I'm giving you excerpts from the book. We choose to love or hate, or we choose to be indifferent. It all begins with a first encounter as we make our decisions concerning our perceptions. We see someone or something, or we experience something, and we have an emotional reaction. This is a point where choice enters in, and we choose to allow a process to take place. It is often very subtle. And many times we don't even realize it is happening. We meet somebody, personalities clash. So we just don't like that person. We have an emotional reaction. And when we allow ourselves to obsess, then that process can lead to hate, to bring you to the point to where you'd say, I hate that person. On the other hand, we could take control of the emotion and not allow it to become hate. Does that mean that you will suddenly begin to love the person? No, not necessarily, but it could happen if we choose to engage them in conversation and get to know them. We might find out that there is common ground, and we could even possibly become friends. Which, again, brings me to my point. It's all about choice. And you can take the flip side of that. You meet somebody and you like them. And so now you can choose to pursue that and become very, very good friends, and maybe even, quote, fall in love with that person. But you see, somewhere along the line here, choices are being made as to whether or not you will deal with whatever emotion there may be. Emotion is a very, very difficult thing to change. You know that, and I know that, because it's a reaction that is stimulated by, as the body and all of the senses of the body begins to react in whatever way. And many people think, well, you can't have any control over your emotions. You meet somebody, you don't like them, you hate them, and you want to just continue to hate them the rest of your life. I said, no, I believe that we have more ability than that to be able to make choices and to choose whether or not we want to make positive changes. Thus, I believe that love is a choice. And we can make that choice because, you see, the thing is, we have the Holy Spirit to help us. And that's the most powerful force in the world that will help us to make good choices so that we can love God and love God's people, to be a servant, truly a servant, as God would have us to be. It's Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.